It's early evening, sometime after the close of our last episode. As on the outskirts of the city, Perry Mason drives his heavy sedan over the crowded coastal boulevard.
Stella, you sure you left word at the detective agency?
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is such a lovely drive.
And Mr. Wallace, you left word with him? And with Lieutenant Halverson?
Yes, Counselor.
Did you just say where I'd be, or did you think to leave the phone number also?
The name of the nightclub and the phone number, too.
Oh, good.
Harry, I thought you said we were going to take things easy. Why don't you follow your own advice and enjoy the ride?
Oh, I'm relaxed. I just don't like being out of touch.
You'll be in touch. Oh, there's a neon sign, Tony.
Mm-hmm.
All clear behind us. Gee, it's huge.
Yeah. Somebody spent a lot of money.
Well, he's going to get it all back. Just look at all the cars.
Mm-hmm.
You have reservations, sir?
Oh, yes, we do. Let's go, Della.
That uniformed attendant had enough gold braid for a 10-star general.
Hmm.
And there's another general opening the door for us. Harry, it's lovely.
It is. Oh, hat check room. Take a look at this uniformed attendant. There's a uniform a man can appreciate.
Good evening, sir. You have a reservation?
Yes, in the name of Smith.
Smith, did you say?
John J. Smith. My name is Mason. I got the reservation in the name of Smith.
Mr. Perry Mason, the lawyer?
That's my name. I'm a lawyer.
Yes, sir.
Well, something's wrong?
No, sir. Certainly not. This way, please.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you tell him your name after going to the trouble of getting reservations under the name of Smith?
I want to get any message that might come for me.
See?
Why not tell him my name?
Well, nothing, only the head waiter thinks it's funny.
He didn't laugh.
We looked at you.
Oh, you noticed?
Oh, yes.
Oh, I would like a table farther back, if I may, near the rear exit.
You wish to sit in the back?
Yes.
Very well, Mr. Mason. Is this table satisfactory?
Yes, thank you.
There'll be a slight delay, Mr. Mason. I'm very sorry. But this is opening night.
I understand.
The club is lovely.
Thank you, madam. I apologize again for the slight delay, Mr. Mason. Had we but known Mr. Mason was coming, we should have made special arrangements. Is there anything I can do personally?
Well, yes, there is. A friend of ours works here, Miss Kate Beekman.
Beekman? Oh, yes. She helps Miss Facina.
I would like to speak to Miss Beekman for a moment. Will you send a message?
I'm afraid Miss Beekman is busy, sir.
Now?
Oh, Miss Beekman has the responsibility of giving the entertainers their cues. I'm very much afraid...
Entertainers for the floor show?
Yes, sir.
That doesn't start for an hour.
Sir?
It says here on the menu, floor shows at 9, 12, and 2, and it is now just exactly 8. That's an hour before the first floor show.
Yes, sir.
So see if Miss Beekman can spare us a moment, please. And, incidentally, there may be a message for me. If so, I will want it immediately.
I'll get you a telephone, sir, and inform the office of your table number.
Good, thank you. And then ask Miss Beekman to come in.
Yes. Mr. Weber. Mr. Weber. Oh, Mr. Jackson.
I'm holding down the office for Gordy. What's up?
I must see Mr. Weber.
Well, he's busy. Tell me, Andre.
I'll have to tell Mr. Weber personally.
Tell me personally, Andre. Spill it.
Okay, if you know where to reach Mr.
It's
Weber.
in the cashier's cage. Well?
Mr. Perry Mason is here.
You sure of that?
Yes.
Where?
Table 37.
Andre.
He had a reservation, Mr. Jansen, under a different name. He wants to see Miss Beekman.
Yeah, that's why he's here. Okay, beat it.
But, Mr.
Get
Jansen...
back on the floor. I'll take care of it. Oh, is Mason by himself?
There's a young woman with him.
Okay. Get back on the floor. Don't look so worried, Andre. I'll take care of it.
Very well, Mr. Jansen.
Now, connect me with Miss Facina's dressing room. Tony, Gus, is Beekman with you? No. Keep her in your dressing room. I'll explain in a few minutes. No, it's nothing to worry about. I said nothing to worry about. Maybe this is what I've been waiting for. Hey, Gordy.
What do you want?
I got to talk to you. It's important.
Look, I told you to stay in the office.
I got to see you. Come on.
You want to talk to me? Do it over the house.
I ought to let it happen. I ought to let the axe fall right on your stupid skull.
What are you talking
You
about?
follow me to the office? No, wait. I'll walk behind you.
Is there something wrong?
Plenty.
I'll be back in a minute, Thelma.
Head for your office. No, around the other way. Just walk as fast as you can without attracting attention. It's probably okay. I walked behind you, and I'm so much bigger than you are, nobody could see you.
Why, you...
Look, we're going to the office.
Look, I'm telling you, Gus, you better have a good excuse.
What?
For interrupting me. I'm a busy man.
Oh.
I got a lot riding on my shoulders. JT's dependent on me to put this club over. All right, you got something to say? Say it. I got to go greet the people.
You what?
Go around from table to table and say hello to the nice people. That's the manager's job.
Gordy, if it wasn't for old time's sake, I'd let you do it.
Do what?
Go out on the floor. Go from table to table, speaking to nice people. Wonder what you'd say when you got to table 37.
Look,
and
Gus,
see...
I'm telling you,
Take
I'm
it
gonna...
easy, Gordy. I'm the best friend you've got, and you don't know it. Perry Mason's here.
You... Mason?
Table 37, sitting there thick as life and waiting to see Miss Beekman.
Oh, no, Gus, you're kidding.
Go out, have a look for yourself.
Oh, no, you're ripping me.
You snap out of it, kid. Mason's here, big as life.
Wait, well, Kate said he wasn't coming.
Well, she was wrong.
Gee, Gus, if Mason gets wise, I'm running the joint. If he knows Kate's working for me...
He won't, Gordy.
You'll tell her old man. Her old man will make her quit. And if she walks out, I'm... Look, Gus, we got to do something.
Will you stop chasing yourself in circles? I'll cover for you.
You? No, you wouldn't...
Gordy, would I open my mouth if I wanted to get you in Dutch? I'm doing you a favor. You keep out of sight, leave it up to me. I'll go talk to Mason. I'll tell him I'm the manager. I'll see Kate first and tip her off. And look, if you're worried about J.T., don't give it a thought. J.T. don't have to know we pulled a switch. You've had me all wrong, Gordy. I want to cooperate with you. I want to help you. I'm your boy now, Gordy. I'm proving it now, right?
Well, maybe I did have you wrong, Gus. I'm not much on saying thanks.
Nix, pal. Look, maybe you can give me a lift sometime.
Oh, I will, Gus. I will. You can depend on me.
I know I can, just like you can depend on me. Now, look, suppose you go out the private exit. I'll let you know when the coast is clear.
Well, I could wait here. No, I'll get clear out. I want to thank you, Gus. I won't forget this.
Jansen speaking. J.T., listen. J.T., something's happened. Yeah. Gordy's got himself in a jam. No. I'm taking care of it, J.T. Don't worry, boss. Yeah, I'm taking over. Look, you better come out. Well, there's no time now, J.T., but come out when you can, huh? Right. I won't forget this, pal, he says. He doesn't know just how right he is.
As you know, Gus is following a deep and treacherous plan. He's smart and clever. And now he sees an opportunity to... Well, what do you think Gus Jansen's up to? Well, you'll join us on Monday, won't you? It's early evening, immediately after Perry Mason entered the nightclub where Kate Beekman is working. Mason has no cause to suspect his arrival created any excitement. But as you know, Mason's presence started a chain of events behind the scenes. At this very moment, August Jansen approaches the door of Tony Facina's dressing room.
Miss Facina.
Come in, Gus. Just a second. I'm just some powder over my makeup.
Where's Kate Beekman?
Oh, hurt my nose.
Where is she?
Gus, you hurt me. She went to the kitchen.
I told her to keep her with you.
I only sent her to get me some coffee.
Oh.
What's happened?
No, shut up. Sheriff, this is Gus Jansen. Kate Beekman's in the kitchen. Let me speak to her. She what? Now he'll see it.
Who will? She only has to cross the back of the floor.
Right in front of table 37. Perry Mason's at table 37. Get out of my way, Tony.
Oh.
Go. Now look what you did. You spilled powder all over me.
I couldn't help it. You shoved me.
Oh, quit babbling. Get a clothes brush. Get something. Come on, Tony, so help.
I'm getting it. I've got a brush now. Where is it? Oh, here.
Come on. Now brush me off. Quick.
All right. And... You say Perry Mason?
Yes.
Well, Kate said that she...
Yeah, she lied to him to keep him away, but it didn't take. He's here. He knows she lied to him.
Gus, when Mason sees Gordy, he'll know why she lied to him.
Yeah, will you get this powder off of me?
Well, turn a little.
Hurry up.
Gus, if Gordy finds out...
worrying about Gordy.
But when Mason learns Kate's working for Gordy...
Mason won't see him. I put Gordy under wraps.
Oh. Well, then why are you
I'm
so worried?
scared of what'll happen when Mason talks to Kate. She lied to him. Mason's going to want to know why. Now, if she gets flustered and spills the beans, it'll put all of us on the hook. Because if Mason gets hep, Gordy's managing the joint. Kate'll have to put on her walking shoes.
What?
She'll have to quit. And that's bad. Because she's important to people you don't even know about. Now get this powder off of me so I can get out of here before Mason digs it out of her, will you?
Well, the thing Gus fears could well happen. For at this moment, as Kate Beekman carries a tray of coffee past table 37...
There's Kate now, Chief.
Oh.
Kate, careful you drop that. Oh.
I spilled the coffee.
Well, it didn't get on you.
Did it get on you?
No.
I'm awfully sorry. It startled me when I didn't expect to see you.
Yes, I know. That's mainly why I'm here.
What?
As you know. Sit down, Kate.
Oh, I can't. I have to get some more coffee.
Oh, we'll send the waiter.
Really,
Waiter, you bring us another pot of coffee, please. Sit down, Kate.
Yes, sir.
What a pretty dress.
Oh, thanks, Miss Street. Oh, you look lovely.
As I've been telling Mr. Mason.
Oh, I knew it all the time. May I order you something, Kate?
No, thank you. I had supper in the kitchen. Really, I ought to go back and help Tony.
Well, shouldn't you wait for the coffee?
Oh,
And, wouldn't you take time to tell us why you tried to keep us away? Well, all right, I'll put my cards on the table. Kate, your father asked me to look this place over. Since he's on parole, he can't visit a nightclub himself. When he asked me, frankly, I didn't think it necessary. But then I tried to get a reservation. And you told me there weren't any. And by chance, I learned there were plenty of reservations available.
Did you tell Pa about the mix-up?
No. But is mix-up quite the right word, Katie? You were very definite when I asked you.
Katie, is there... Yes, Miss Street? Is there something you don't want us to learn about this place? Or your job? Oh, I love my job.
Well, then why did you...
And it's a lovely place to work. Well, you can see it's a lovely place.
Okay, Kate, it's a lovely place. You love your job. What is wrong?
Oh, nothing, Mr. Mason. Everyone's been lovely, very nice to me. The entertainment manager
Well, then why did you tell me that...
Don't you want to hear about my job, Mr. Mason?
Kate, all I want is an explanation. I think I'm entitled to an explanation.
But that is my explanation. I love my job.
Well, I haven't said that you don't.
Tony's very nice to me. She's the entertainment manager. She's very nice to me, and...
Kate. Okay, if you're bound and determined...
And Mr. Boland, I help him.
Who?
Mr. Boland's the head chef. I'm learning to check the food, see, and I told him...
yes. When I phoned for a reservation, and you told me that...
He's very nice to me, and so is Tony. She's in charge of entertainment.
So you said.
That's right. I did tell you. Well, and then there's Oscar. He's the fry cook. There's a fry cook and a pastry cook. And
all of which is very interesting, but...
I'm just crazy about my job.
Who's the manager?
The manager? Well, I usually work for Tony and Monsieur Boland.
Monsieur Bowen is French. He has the cutest accent. You know, the funniest thing happened the other day.
Kate, who is the manager?
Oh. Well, you see, I almost never see the manager.
But you know his name, don't you?
His name?
Yes, the manager's name.
Oh. Yeah, of course I know his name. Golly, I'd have to know his name, wouldn't I? But you'd think it was pretty funny if I didn't know his name.
Yes.
What made you ask?
No particular reason, but since I've asked...
Oh, there he is.
Who?
That man talking to the head waiter.
Oh, where?
He's behind the pillar. The head waiter stopped him to ask him something. Do you see him, Terry?
No.
I'm sure he's the manager. Now he's coming over this way.
Oh.
Nice-looking man. Younger than I expected the manager to be. Oh, he's coming to our table, and he's smiling at you, Kate.
Yes, but he's
There
not...
you are, Miss Kate.
Were you looking for me?
Well, only to be sure you found your friends, and I see you have.
Yes. This is Mr. Mason.
Mason?
And
you?
Miss Street, Mr. Jansen.
Miss Street?
How do you do?
Well, we're most pleased to see you, Mr. Mason. The management makes you welcome.
What?
I mean it sincerely, Mr. Mason. Of course, the manager always says he's honored by someone's presence, but this time the manager means it.
Oh, Mr. Jansen's the manager.
So I gathered.
Did Kate explain the mix-up in your reservations, Mr. Mason?
No.
Oh, now, you should have, Kate.
Well, I was going to, Mr.
You
Jansen.
didn't want to tell on your boss.
What, Mr. Jansen?
It was all my fault, Miss Street.
But, Mr. Jansen...
Well, thanks for trying to take the blame, but I can't let you. You see, a certain party did ask for reservations. I turned him down. The gentleman is, well, I've heard he's associated with undesirable elements, and I won't have men of his stripe in my club. I'm going to run a decent place, such a place as men of your caliber will like to come. And such a place as a nice girl like Kate here will like to work in. But at any rate, Kate overheard me when I told the gentleman there were no more reservations. So when you phoned, she didn't know there were plenty available. It's entirely my fault. I intended phoning and asking you personally to come as my guest for dinner, Mr. Mason. Oh, yes, Katie.
Oh, here's the coffee for Tony. I'll take it.
Now, you stay right here. Steve, would you take that to Tony's dressing room?
Well, I'll be glad
Now,
to
you
take
just stay and talk with your friends, Kate. There's no reason for you to leave. Everything's taken care of.
What?
We've nothing to do for a few minutes. That's our only trouble with Kate, Mr. Mason. She works too hard. Well, is there anything I can do?
Oh, well, I'm expecting a message. I asked the head waiter...
The operator's been notified and will bring the phone to your table.
Good.
Is there anything else? I hope you enjoy yourselves. Oh, Andre, Mr. Mason and Miss Street are my guests tonight.
Oh, Mr. Jansen,
Please, Mr. Mason, it's a privilege. Now, you take your time, Katie.
Well, I'd really
Now,
better...
you'd better do what the manager tells you, Miss Beekman. Don't worry about a thing, Katie. There's not a single thing for you to be concerned about now. Okay?
Yes, Mr. Jansen.
Of course. Everything's fine and dandy.
Oh, Mr. Jansen,
Mr. Mason, now, if you're about to refuse my hospitality again, please don't, as a favor to me. I want to make up in a small way for your inconvenience. Now, everything's all right. I want you to be my guest, so I'll know everything is all right, you see? Good evening, sir. Miss Street. I'll see you later, Katie.
Well, as you know, Mr. Jansen is actually the mysterious Gus, who's responsible for Suzanne Barclay's disappearance. And Gus wouldn't smile so confidently if he knew that Perry Mason is on his trail. Yes, there's tension and danger beneath the surface, the immediate future, so you'll join us tomorrow, won't you? It's early evening, immediately after the close of our last episode. As in the nightclub managed by Gordy Weber, the nightclub that is secret headquarters for JT's crime syndicate, and where, for Perry Mason's special benefit, August Jansen is posing as manager, Kate Beekman looks from Della Street to Perry Mason, says...
I'm glad you understand now, Mr. Mason. You do understand, don't you?
It was carefully explained, Mr. What's the manager's name?
Mr. Jansen. He's awfully nice. Don't you think he's nice?
Well, on such short acquaintance, it's hard to say, Kate.
What's wrong, Katie?
Wrong? Nothing.
Kate, when you saw Della and me, you were nervous. So nervous you dropped a cup of coffee.
What's wrong, honey?
Nothing. Oh, I told you there's nothing. What makes you think there's something wrong? Well, I was was surprised when I saw you. That's why I dropped the coffee.
Kate.
You've seen the place and met the manager and... Oh, gee, Mr. Mason, what could be wrong? Don't you think I can take care of myself? I'm not a child.
No, Kate, you're not a child.
I should think you'd have something more important to think about than trying to find something wrong
Yes,
when...
frankly, I do.
What?
I do have something important to do. Something involving the lives of many people. I can't give you details. But part of it I'll take time to tell you, if you will take time to listen.
Why, of course.
Good. Kate, somewhere there's a lovely girl.
Somewhere.
Somewhere. She ran away, disappeared. She left a nice home and a loving mother. She left wealth and ease. Not because she's stupid or unbalanced. Because she made a mistake.
You're looking for her?
Yes. And so are the police. She's a nice girl. Pretty. Clever. She's 19.
My age.
Yes, she's a lot like you, Kate. She thought she could take care of herself in any situation. She saw trouble coming, but she felt she could handle it. She was dead wrong.
We hope she isn't dead.
Oh.
But not just for her sake. We have to find her so that we can get our hands on the man who... Well, that's beside the point.
What are you telling me, Mr. Mason?
That something is frightening you or bothering you, Kate. I'm offering you my help now. You want to tell me?
I've nothing to tell.
Kate.
Perry, the waiter's bringing you a telephone.
Message for you, Mr. Mason.
Oh, you have the connection?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Hello? Oh, yes, hello, Paul. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's have it. But don't use any names. Mm-hmm. Yes. Did you find her? Relevant. Man or woman? Oh, woman. Well, I have an appointment with her tomorrow. Tonight? Well, no, I can't tonight, Paul. I'm... Well, no, Paul, All right. Phone her, tell her I'm on my way, and I want you to meet me there. Well, break your date. I'll see you in an hour.
An hour? Oh, we haven't eaten.
I'll buy you a hamburger later.
Oh, well, okay.
Are you going to leave, Mr. Mason?
What? Oh, yes, Kate.
But Mr. Jansen asked you to be his guest.
Well, I have something more important to do than eat. Look, Kate, I'll ask you once more. Is there something you want to tell me?
No, Mr. Mason.
All right, that's up to you. Oh, waiter.
But I'd like to
Well,
explain...
there's nothing to explain, Kate. I thought you needed help. You say you don't. Either I'm wrong, or you don't want to tell me. It's up to you. No? Very well.
Well, I'll call the waiter for you. Goodbye, Mr. Mason. Goodbye, Miss Street.
Good night, Kate.
Good night, Kate.
Oh, Stephen, will you go to Mr. Mason's table?
What's happened, Perry?
Hmm? Oh, Suzanne Barclay's mother wants to see me.
Oh?
Oh, waiter, cancel our order, please.
Now it's a moment later. As in the office of the manager, Gordy Weber hears...
Mr. Jansen?
Katie.
Oh, Mr. Weber, is Mr. Jansen...
Yeah, come in, Katie. You talked to Mr. Mason?
Yes.
Well?
Nothing. He's gone.
Huh?
He had to leave on business. Have you seen Mr. Jansen?
Yeah, well, he was just here. What do you want him for?
To thank him. He covered my lie to Mr. Mason.
Yeah, but on my orders, Kate. Don't forget that. I told him what to do.
Oh.
Sure. I knew it'd make trouble if Mason found out I run the club. So I told Gus to introduce himself as the manager. It was all my idea. First to last.
Yes, Mr. Weber.
And a good idea, if I say so myself. Of course, if a guy don't blow his own horn, nobody else is going to blow it for him. Right?
Yes, Mr. Weber. If you see Mr. Jansen...
Well, Gus only did what I told him. So you can thank me for him.
Kate. Oh, hello, Gordy.
Oh, it's you, Gus. You know you got a positive genius for coming in at the wrong time.
Just a minute.
Don't interrupt me.
Forgive me. Kate, how come you didn't stay with Mr. Mason?
He had to leave.
Did he say why?
Business?
Yeah, but did he say what?
No. I want to thank you, Gus.
Oh, that's sweet of you, Kate.
But I explained to her the whole deal was my idea, right?
Yeah, that's right. It was all Gordy's idea, Kate.
It was a mean little idea.
Huh?
I'm not proud I lied to Mr. Mason, but since I had to...
Well, you did, and you can thank me for helping all...
It was Gus who actually helped me. But it takes a big man to share the credit.
What?
I said it takes a big man to share the credit.
Oh, wait a minute. You didn't give me time to finish. Just a second, Kate. I don't want you to think that I'm too little to give Gus his due. Sure, Gus did a good job. You did fine, Gus. You followed my orders to a T. You did okay.
Thanks.
Not at all, Gus. I'm the kind of guy who always gives credit where credit is due. Hey, where you going, Katie?
I have to help Tony.
Now, stick around. I want... Yeah, she's in a hurry.
Yeah.
Give me a match for the cigar. Huh?
What?
I said, give me a match.
Okay, Gordy. I'll even light it for you.
No, hold her a second. I want a good light.
Okay.
Uh-huh, yeah. Say, Gus, I want to tell you something. I meant what I said a minute ago.
Oh, what's that, Gordy?
When I said you did a good job. You handled Mason okay. I'm not saying you did as well or better than I could have, but you did okay. And I'm glad to see you get wise.
What did you say, Gordy?
I'm glad to see you wise up. Hand me that ashtray, will you?
Here you are, Gordy.
Yeah. Now, here's what I mean. When you found out that Mason was here tonight, you didn't have to warn me. And you didn't have to do everything you could to help me. Now, I'm not saying I couldn't have handled it by myself. I could have handled it. But the point is, you helped. And that means you finally know which side your bread's buttered on.
Your side, Gordy?
Yeah. And I'm going to remember you didn't try to stab me in the back. Oh, I'll get that. Yeah? Now? Oh. Yeah, okay. JT's on his way in the private entrance. I didn't expect him for a couple hours.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. He phoned, and I asked him to come.
You tell him about Mason and you taking over?
Gordy, you just got through saying I wouldn't knife you.
Oh, yeah. Excuse it, Gus. A guy like me, I got so many things on my mind, you know. Well, I wanted to see JT anyway, and... look, Gus, what happened? Just between us, okay?
Here. Let me give you another match, Gordy.
Huh? Oh. Yeah. Well, nothing like a big cigar to relax a man. Right, pal? Gordy Weber, the little man with the big cigar. The little man whose inflated ego makes him talk big. Gordy's in for a surprise. And so is Perry Mason when he sees Suzanne Barclay's mother. You'll join us tomorrow, won't you? It's 9 at night, shortly after the close of our last episode, as Perry Mason drives quickly to the home of Mrs. Barclay. As you know, Mrs. Barclay's daughter, Suzanne, has disappeared, and Perry Mason must find the girl in order to learn the identity of a mysterious man called Gus. Well, as you also know, Gus is August Jansen, key member of JT's crime syndicate. And at this very moment, in the office of the nightclub headquarters of the syndicate, August Jansen watches Gordy Weber frown importantly, flick ashes from his expensive cigar, and say again, "Yeah, Gus, you did me a favor tonight. I'm not going to forget it. Not that I couldn't have handled it myself, you understand. Where you going?"
Lock the door. JT's going to come through the private entrance any second.
Oh.
JT wouldn't like it if somebody walked in here and saw him.
Yeah, say, pal, speaking of JT, we don't mention what happened tonight, huh?
We've been all over that.
Be careful what you say, huh?
I'll be very careful.
Yeah. JT's coming in now. Hiya, JT.
Gordy, August.
Say, I was
That
just...
door locked?
Huh? Oh, yeah. I told Gus to lock it. Sit down, JT.
No. I just left the garage. That delivery of cars will start arriving at midnight. An hour ago, I had a meeting with the big fella. We can't afford trouble tonight.
Well, what's the beef, JT? You come in here like you expected to find trouble.
Look, boss, just relax and leave it to me. Anything should happen, me and my boy here will take care of it.
Yes. Stand beside him, August.
Like I was saying, J.T.
I'm speaking to August. You hear me, August?
Yes, sir.
Now, if there are any difficulties, I want to be informed immediately.
Well, I'll let you know if anything happens.
Gordon likes to hide things.
I understand, J.T.
Furthermore, I'm relying on you to stop Gordon. Makes a rash move. If he won't listen to you, tell me.
Wait a minute, J.T. You're telling this guy to walk behind me?
No, not exactly. And don't argue. August will take orders from you, but August is a valuable man in an emergency. Consult him, Gordy.
What can go wrong, J.T.?
I mean to find out. I was informed that... in a moment. First, you've called a meeting of unit managers?
Yeah, 2 o'clock. J.T., what makes you think I can't handle anything? Oh, catch that, Gus. It's the house phone.
Yes. When? Where's he now? No, do it this way.
Wait, what's going on? Give me that.
Let him alone, Gordy.
Do it like this. Ease him out of the bar. We'll take him in the hall behind the main floor. Take him in the little room next to the office. Stand him in front of the light and get this. Do it smooth. There's Andre. There's a kid called Pat Dooley here.
Kid?
Just a punk. But he's one of the pickup drivers.
Why, that no? Andre taking him in the next room?
Yes. Wait, Gordy.
Wait, nothing. I'm going to teach that guy not to stick his face in here.
Gordy.
Let him go, August.
All right, you. I'm going to teach you.
Hey, cut it out, Leader. Cut it out.
Just one way to handle a punk like that.
Yeah, you let him see you?
Nah. Light was in his eyes when I hit him the first
Did
time.
you say anything?
Now, when I got through with him.
Let me speak to Andre. Quick.
Hey, listen, don't go giving orders before I tell you
Be quiet.
Andre, how'd you get wise to the kid? Huh? Good. He doesn't know this is headquarters. He was following his unit manager. Pete's his manager. Pete spotted the kid and tipped Andre.
Pete was careless.
The kid's okay. We'll just ship him out of town to be safe. But Pete knows the setup.
Yes.
Pete's here in the club. J.T.?
Yes. You do it.
Yes.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, Gus, what are you all of a sudden grinning about, huh?
Give me Andre.
August is smiling because he's about to do something he does very well.
Andre? Gus.
He likes doing what he's about
Tell
to do.
Pete to get his car out of the garage. Tell him I'll meet him. And tell Junior to get my car and follow us. No, Andre, nothing wrong. Just, tell Pete I want to talk to him, that's all. This won't take long, J.T.
Gus.
Yes?
Tell Pete goodbye for us, huh?
I'll be sure to. See you shortly, J.T.
Now it's some time later, as in the home of Mrs. Barclay.
I apologize for disturbing you tonight, Mr. Mason. I debated telling you what happened.
Well, what did happen?
I hesitate even now.
Did you hear from Suzanne?
Not exactly, my dear.
Well, what did happen, Mrs. Barclay?
Something strange and frightening. Will you come into Suzanne's room with me?
Yes, of course.
Forgive me, my dear. I'll take your wrap.
Oh, that's right. I'll just carry it.
This is my daughter's room. I left the lamp on.
Well, something happened in here?
Yes.
Oh, you've left all her things.
Yes, just as it was when Suzanne went away. I kept hoping she'd come back. But today I started putting her things away. You see, I was losing hope, Mr. Mason. Mr. Mason, do you think I'm a sane woman?
Certainly.
Please believe me. I've never believed in clairvoyance or telepathy. I've just never believed in it. But I had a psychic experience tonight. At least I can't explain it any other way.
Well, tell us what happened.
Well, I hadn't come into this room for many days. This evening, I came in and started to put things away. I went to Suzanne's desk.
Now, show us exactly what you did.
Oh, all right. I went to her desk and put her pen in the drawer. There was stationery lying on the desk as if she were going to write a letter. I put it away. And then I took the picture.
This?
Yes. It was a snapshot of Suzanne and her dog. Sue had it enlarged and framed, and she kept it on her desk. She was very fond of it. The picture reminded me that I had to send a check to the veterinarian. He's keeping the dog until Suzanne returns. Then I don't know why, I looked at the picture, picked it up, and went to that chair like this.
You sat here, holding the picture?
Yes, and looking at it, and thinking how happy she was when it was taken. Then suddenly it happened. I couldn't see the picture, but I could see her face, just as if she were looking at me and speaking to me. She did speak. She said, Mother, I'm afraid. And I cried out, what's happened, darling? Where are you? Are you ill? And she answered. She said, No, I'm all right. And my hand is all healed. But I'm afraid. I'm afraid of Gus. Gus is looking for me. Help me, Mother. Help.
And then?
That's all. Mr. Mason. She's in danger.
Well, now, wait, Mrs. Barclay. That's a very comfortable chair. You have been under a strain. You could have fallen asleep and had a realistic dream.
Oh, yes. Yes, I suppose it could have been. Oh, and I hope so. Maybe she isn't afraid. Maybe.
Well, of course that's what it was, a dream. You're worried about her, and you know about Gus, so you put them both together and...
Oh, I'm sure you're right, my dear. But I wonder what she meant about her hand.
What?
In my dream, she said her hand was all healed. What did she mean?
Well, the night she disappeared, she injured her hand. Mr. Wallace knew that.
My brother knew.
Oh, yes, Mrs. Barclay.
Well, no one told me. I didn't know. Not until I had my dream. It was true, Mr. Mason. Everything I dreamed was true.
Strange, unexplainable things have happened. Mrs. Barclay's frightening dream could be coincidence, or it could be extrasensory perception. But coincidence or not, the dream was true. Suzanne Barclay, in hiding, is in danger as deadly as the danger Pete is in. And because of the same man, August Jansen. By all means, join us tomorrow, won't you? It's 10 at the close of our last episode. As in the home of Mrs. Barclay, mother of Suzanne Barclay, the girl who ran away and disappeared, Mrs. Barclay puts her trembling hand to her face, sways.
Mrs. Barclay.
I'm all right, my dear. It was such a shock.
Sit down, Mrs. Barclay.
No, really, I'd rather stand. It's true, Mr. Mason. I don't want to believe it, but it must be. I saw my daughter's face, heard her voice saying she's afraid.
Now, it won't help to jump to conclusions, Mrs. Barclay, but let us say that it is true. Let's say your daughter did talk to you.
Then she's afraid. She's in danger.
But she's alive and well. And if Gus is looking for her, we'll simply have to find her before he does.
Oh, the police have been searching, and you...
We'll keep searching for her.
Tell me you'll find her, Mr. Mason. Tell me.
We'll do our best. That's all I can promise.
Here, let me take the photograph.
Put it in the desk.
All right, Chief. Oh,
What's the matter?
the desk drawer's stuck. It's all right, I can finish it. I'm terribly sorry. I pulled it all the way out.
Oh, never mind, my dear. It's just a few papers.
I've got them all.
Here, let me help you out. Wait a minute.
What, Perry?
There's a slip of paper stuck behind the drawer. I can reach it.
Oh. What is it?
Oh, it's a receipt from Dr. Doyle.
Oh, yes. He's the veterinarian. Let me see. Oh, yes. Suzanne paid for boarding her dog. She paid for several months in advance.
Well, didn't you tell the Missing Persons Bureau?
Oh, no. Should I have?
It's important. Notice the date.
October 28th, the day she went away. But I thought I was out of town. I assume she took her dog sometime during that week. My secretary pays incidental expenses. And I assumed she took him the day she left.
The night she left. You see, Suzanne ran away because of her argument with Gus. And that was about 9:30 in the evening. So
she took her dog to the veterinarian and came back, put the receipt in the drawer, took a few clothes.
Della, get that receipt.
Are you leaving, Mr. Mason?
Yes, Mrs. Barclay, I want to see this man at once. Will you be all right?
Oh, yes. My brother will be home shortly.
Well, then we'll...
Mr. Mason, that man, the man she called Gus in my dream, Suzanne said he's looking for her.
Well, so are the police and private detectives.
Hurry then, Mr. Mason. Oh, dear Lord, hurry. Find Suzanne before that beast does. Find her and save her, Mr. Mason. Find my little girl and save her from that man.
As you know, Gus is August Jansen. And Gus is still very much in the Syndicate. At this very moment, he stands quietly in the parking lot beside the nightclub which serves as Syndicate headquarters. Gus waits patiently, quietly, in the shadows. Now he snaps his cigarette away as...
Hi, Gus. It's great to see you.
Hello, Pete. How are you?
Swell. Hey, I haven't seen you since you got back from out west. You're looking grand, boy. You're looking good. Everything okay, Gus?
Sure. Now, let's go.
Wait a minute. I kind of pulled a boner tonight. That's why you wanted to see me?
Oh, you mean letting that kid follow you out here?
Now, I can explain that, Gus.
Snakes, Pete. It happened. It's done.
You ain't sore?
What? I'm not mad at anybody, Pete.
Well, then, what's up?
I'll drive, I'll tell you.
Which way?
That little side road to the river. We're going to meet somebody. Then you're going on a trip.
Oh, yeah?
Uh-huh. Out west. Turn right here.
How do you like the heat?
Nice car.
Yeah, it's got that new transmission in it, see? Never have to shift gears. Just trump on the throttle and away she goes.
There's a little dirt road about a mile up left side. Watch for it.
Right. We gotta meet somebody I know.
Well, you've heard of him, Pete, but you've never met him before.
Yeah? I'm gonna take this guy with me?
Yeah, Pete, you'll go together.
Then what? When we get out west.
This party will tell you. He'll take over as soon as you meet him.
He sounds important.
Yeah?
Well, I don't mind taking orders. Boy, I can't wait to get this heap on those long, lonesome Texas highways. Hey, I'm going to take my car on the trip, huh? I say something funny?
You really love to drive, don't you, Pete?
Sure.
Don't worry, you'll take your car. You start slowing down, dirt road's just ahead.
Yeah, I see it.
Winds down by the river. You have to take it easy.
Sure. I don't want to scratch up my new buggy. Now what'd I say?
Oh, old Pete, the boy who loves to drive. Boy who likes to follow orders.
Listen, Gus, about what happened tonight.
Watch those trees, Pete.
Yeah. Gus, I want to tell you.
What's there to say, Pete? One of your boys followed you to the club.
But he don't know the club is headquarters, so no harm's done. Right? Right, Gus?
Well, no, Pete, not this time, but it's kind of touchy.
How do you mean?
It's quite a setup, Pete.
The Syndicate?
The Syndicate. There's the drivers who lift the cars, and the other bunch takes them to the garage. Am I boring you, Pete?
No.
And there's guys like you, unit managers. And there's Gordy, and there's me. That's all you know about.
Yeah, oh, sure, but I can guess there's somebody behind you and Gordy.
Smart boy, Pete.
We stop now? We keep on going, we'll be in the river.
You see where that road curves? Stop there.
Yeah, right.
Cut your lights.
Hey, we're parked on a cliff. The river's a long way down.
How's the transmission work, Pete?
Huh? Well, you just put her in gear and you let her go. Why? Hey, that other guy stopped some distance back. We going to meet that guy?
You'll see him soon enough. Show me how the gear shift works.
What do you mean, Gus?
Show me the gear shift.
Well, you move it here, then you step on the gas. Gus, wait a minute. The thing that happened tonight, you said you wasn't sore.
I'm not. Nobody's sore, not even J.T.
J.T.? Who's J.T.?
J.T. Doherty. He's a big wheel in the Syndicate. Gordy and I work under J.T. Oh, but there's even another guy. The guy who's J.T.'s boss. He calls him the big fellow. That's a laugh, because J.T.'s a real fat guy, and nobody sees the big fellow but J.T.
What are you telling me this for? I got no business knowing secrets.
You won't repeat it.
Gus.
That's why you're taking this trip. You and this fella you're going to meet. You could meet him anywhere, Pete. I mean, this fellow I told you about.
Gus, listen.
I never met him personally, but I've worked with him. Does a real good job.
What? What are you saying?
I'm telling you about this guy. Makes a specialty of making loudmouths keep their traps shut. Don't move, Pete.
Gus, please. Please give me a chance. Just give me a chance.
Start it. Slip it in gear. Hop out. Have a nice trip, Pete. How do you like the guy you're with now, Pete? Okay, Junior, I'm coming. Hey, Junior, did you see that? That dope just drove his car over the cliff.
August Jansen killed a man and laughed. You know what will happen to Suzanne Barclay if Gus finds her. Gus is looking for Suzanne. He also has plans for Kate Beekman. You'll join us tomorrow, won't you? It's a few minutes past 10 at night. Immediately after the close of our last episode, when on a lonely road beside the river, Gus Jansen settled an account for J.T.'s crime syndicate. More of Gus in a few moments. First, outside the home of Mrs. Barclay.
Hello, Perry. Beautiful.
Hi, Paul.
You see Mrs. Barclay? Yes. Give Paul that receipt, Ellen.
Here.
From a veterinarian to Suzanne Barclay. Paid to have her dog boarded. Look at the date. Well, that's the day she ran away.
The night she ran away, Paul. Suzanne decided to run away after her argument with Gus.
Then the vet talked to her just before she disappeared. Yes. See him tonight if you can. Find out, well, you know what to do. Right. How come Mrs. Barclay didn't come up with this before? We just found that receipt. Then why did Mrs. Barclay send out an emergency call for you?
Well, believe it or not, Paul, she had a dream.
Let's go, Della. Hey, wait a minute. Give. Mrs. Barclay had a kind of dream about her daughter. Suzanne told her mother that she was in danger, that Gus was looking for her. In a dream?
Yes, and don't look at us like that. Do you ever hear of extrasensory perception?
Extrasensory perception? That's mental telepathy you're talking about. There's nothing to it. That's stuff a bunch of nonsense. There's always a logical explanation for those things, always. Then follow it out logically. Right? Suzanne never told her mother a thing about Gus. And yet, Mrs. Barclay has a dream in which Suzanne is terrified of Gus. What caused that dream, Paul? Well, the way it sounds to me, Suzanne was scared of this guy even before she ran away. But she didn't tell her mother. No. And yet her mother sensed it, subconsciously, and it comes out in a dream. Well, that's got to be it. Suzanne was scared to death. Her mother sensed it without realizing it. Tells you something about Gus, doesn't it? I'm getting a picture of that guy, Paul. He's plausible. Probably nice-looking. Mean enough to scare Sue Barclay into hiding. Yes. He's warped and twisted and ruthless. But you wouldn't know it to look at him. Or Suzanne would have given one look and run the other way. Mm-hmm. You see why he's dangerous. I'll get busy. Good. Oh, you can reach me at Lieutenant Halverson's office or at home.
You're seeing Halverson tonight, Chief?
Yes. Okay, Paul?
Right. Now it's a short time later, as Gus Jansen parks his car in the nightclub parking lot, goes quietly inside, makes his way to the manager's office.
It's Gus. J.T. Where's Gordy?
Out. Well?
Yeah.
So you had a pleasant trip, huh?
Short, but sweet. Pete and I took the little road over by the river, you know.
Oh, yes. By the cliff.
By the cliff.
Yeah.
Pretty spot. Pete fell asleep at the wheel.
Uh-huh.
Pete went fast asleep. His car went off the road, then over the cliff. Fell down in the river.
I always felt Pete was careless.
He was careless once too often.
Uh-huh. You're positive he's, Good. Very good indeed. The big fellow will be pleased with you.
Just so long as you're pleased with me.
Of course I'm... what's on your mind, August?
Gordy? And Kate Beekman? And you and me? How long are you going to keep horsing around, J.T.?
You, want to take over?
It's logical. The girl likes me. Of course, you'll have to tell me what you want with her.
It's her father. Her father's employed at Nicholas Importing Company. He's an intelligent man and tough. I became interested in him when Gordy tried to use him in a deal.
I didn't know.
Ed Beekman outthought and outfought Gordy. He interested me. He's an honest man. He's also the assistant to the president of Nicholas Importing. Mr. Nicholas has been looking for an able, deserving younger man to take over. Beekman is already in a position to influence policy.
You'd have Nicholas Importing if you had Ed Beekman in your pocket.
The big fellow and I, yes. Beekman's an honest man. But, Gus, he loves his daughter very much indeed.
So, all I have to do is treat her sweet until she really trusts me and then, frame her.
Well, it could be that way. You've done well, Gus. The big fellow and I are pleased. You've come back, gone to work, you aren't drinking. But there is Suzanne Barclay. Are you looking for her?
Ever since she skipped out. I think she jumped in the river.
You think? If she's alive, her information is a loaded gun pointed at your head and at mine.
J.T., if she's alive, I'll catch up with her. And once I do...
Make certain this time, August.
Yeah, I will. You, gonna let me work on Beekman?
I'll have to discuss it with the big fellow, but I believe I'll recommend it. You did very well tonight. Did you tell Pete goodbye for me?
J.T., I could kick myself. I forgot.
You should have told him goodbye for me, but I understand you were excited, huh?
A little. I'm a little tired.
It's natural.
Mr. Weber?
I'll go out the private exit.
No, don't move. I'll talk to her in the doorway. I want you to hear this.
Beekman, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mr. Weber? Oh, Gus.
Hello, Kate. Gordy's out for a minute. I'm all by myself. Something I can do?
Well, Tony wants to ask him... Will you ask him to call our dressing room?
Okay. Kate, how's it going?
All right. You look tired, Gus.
Sweet of you to notice, Kate. I am a little tired. It's been a busy evening.
Oh?
Yeah, I have a couple of details to take care of.
All taken care of?
Mm-hmm.
I want to thank you again for helping me.
What?
When you spoke to Mr. Mason.
Oh, that slipped my mind.
Oh, You have been busy if you could forget his being here. I can't forget so easily. I don't like telling lies.
Of course not, because you're a sweet kid. But there are times when, well, sometimes you've got to tell a lie to save your neck.
Mr. Mason wanted to help me.
And if you needed help, I'd say go right ahead. Tell him you're working at Gordy's club. But you're okay. You don't need help. And I'll tell you why. You've been worried.
Well...
I know you have. Gordy gives you the creeps, doesn't he?
Well, I really don't think he'd bother me, but...
No, he won't. I'm going to take you under my wing.
But Mr. Weber said...
We got that straightened out tonight. Gordy's not even going to speak to you anymore. Okay? And something else. You'll be working late most nights. I've been thinking about that, too. I'm going to take you home.
Oh, I couldn't ask you to do that.
It's no trouble. I have to drive in town anyway, so I'll give you a lift. Unless,
What?
Unless you don't want to ride with me. You haven't known me very long, Katie. Not as long as you've known Gordy. Maybe you think I'm the same kind of guy.
Oh, no. You've always been...
Then you'll let me take you home?
If you're sure it isn't too much trouble.
I'm sure.
All right. Thank you, Gus.
You're welcome. I'll tell Gordy to call Tony. You hear, J.T.?
Yes. Are you sure it isn't too much trouble, August?
I don't mind a little trouble. In fact, I'm looking forward to a pleasant drive with Miss Beekman. This has been some night, huh, J.T.?
You've had a good time, haven't you, August? A nice ride with Pete, and later a nice ride with Miss Beekman.
But not to the same place.
No, at least not yet. Treat her gently, August. She's valuable.
Now you know why Kate Beekman is valuable to J.T. But just what do you think are August Jansen's plans for her? You'll join us on Monday, won't you?
It's midnight, sometime after the close of our last episode. As in police headquarters, Perry Mason enters the office of Lieutenant Donald Halverson.
Well, hello, Sergeant. What's the matter with you, Sergeant?
Huh? Me? Oh, it's not the matter with me, Mr. Mason. I'm in a pink.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect physical condition. I could... well, since you asked, I can tell you, Mr. Mason. I was quit because I got trouble with my eyes.
Bad?
No, not too. I need glasses, but you know I hate to get them.
Why?
Well, the lieutenant...
Halverson?
Yes. Oh, he wouldn't say anything if I wore glasses, but he might feel bad, you know.
He'd feel... Well, I apologize.
Huh?
It's late. I've had a busy night, and I have a busy day tomorrow. I apologize for opening my mouth to ask you how you feel. Believe me, I do. But, since I have, why would Lieutenant Halverson feel bad if you wore glasses?
Oh, well, you see, the lieutenant, he's a perfectionist, like, see? You know how he is, Mr. Mason. Everything's got to be just so. His squad's got to be the best squad. His man's got to be the sharpest and work hardest. Mr. Mason, he wouldn't like me wearing glasses.
Well, then why don't you transfer?
What?
Well, since he works you so hard and is so unreasonable...
I'm begging your pardon, sir. That ain't so. No, the lieutenant works himself twice as hard. He's 2 times sharper than... Well, you couldn't pay me to get out of... You were just needling me, Mr. Mason, eh?
Well, hello, Mason.
Oh.
Sit down.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
I thought I heard you come in a minute ago.
Yes, I've been talking to your sergeant.
Oh, he's a funny guy. You know, he's been needing glasses for a year, but he won't get them. Too proud to wear them, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
A cigarette?
No. You have something?
Mm-hmm.
A lead to Gus?
No. That the only character you've got on your mind?
Yes.
Well, we'll get Gus if he's still working for the Syndicate, because I think we're going to bust the Syndicate wide open. I think we're going to bust it up in little pieces, the small fry and the big shots. I feel good. I was beginning to feel bad, Mason. I was beginning to wonder if the Syndicate's smarter and tougher than we are. Oh, I knew we'd break it finally, but I was getting impatient. You know, police work's funny, Mason. You get flat feet doing leg work, you wear out your voice asking questions, you get punch drunk fighting a brick wall, and all of a sudden, boom. Always happens. Somebody answers a question or the dull routine pays off, and you're in.
Are you?
Now, I got a guy.
Oh, who?
Pete Watton.
Don't know him.
He's from out of town, Pittsburgh. Also a minor big shot in the syndicate. Anyway, we think he is, and with good reason. He's careless, and he's a talker. Now, he never made much dough until a couple of years ago, and then he started raking it in. New clothes, new apartment, new car. Also wants to trade his wife in on a new model.
Oh.
Well, she got mad.
Uh-huh.
Mad enough to repeat what her husband was careless enough to let her overhear. Pete's on his way to the city. We know his car and license number. We'll follow him, learn his contacts. Oh, the sergeant will get that in the other office.
Oh. Lieutenant, even though you have a line on Pete Watton, we don't want to drop Suzanne Barclay.
Oh, we'll keep looking, but we won't bear down so hard. Now, be reasonable, Mason. I can't justify spending a lot of dough on her now. When this Barclay was our only lead to Gus, and as long as Gus was our only lead to the syndicate, I could use all the men and time and dough I wanted. But now we've got Pete Watton, and I can't justify it. Not yet. We'll get to her later. Yeah. Well, Sergeant, since when do you stand on ceremonies?
I just got a flash, Lieutenant.
Well, let's have it.
You know where State Road 72 meets the Coastal Boulevard?
Yeah.
About a mile back up 72 is a little county line dirt road.
Mm-hmm.
Goes up beside the river, place where there's a cliff over the river. Mm-hmm. A car went off the little road and over the cliff and down into the river. The driver's dead, Lieutenant. The driver was Pete Watton.
Dead? Are you positive he's dead?
Yes, sir.
How? What killed him? Was he shot?
No, sir. He wasn't shot. Do you want to know what killed him? Well, he had a broken neck, a fractured skull, and internal injuries. Take your pick.
What did you say, Sergeant?
I said take your pick. It's a long way down to that river. Hey, now, Lieutenant.
Shut up. Shut up until you're spoken to.
Yes, sir.
And stand at attention. I said at attention, Sergeant. Throw your shoulders back and pull in your stomach and try to look like a police officer instead of a hay-shaker.
Yes, sir.
I said just try to do it, Sergeant. I know very well you can't. You'll never be a good officer, never. Do you know that?
If you say so, sir.
You're too dumb to come in out of the rain.
Yes, sir.
You're even too dumb to get yourself a pair of glasses.
I don't need them.
Don't tell me what you don't need. Do you like those headaches?
No, sir, but
your paperwork is twice as hard because you can't see what you're doing. Do you like that?
No, sir.
Then do what I tell you and get some glasses.
Yes, sir.
Tomorrow.
Yes, sir. And now, if you're all through, I got a couple of things to tell you, Lieutenant.
Just one more thing. If I turn around and lean over, will you give me a good, swift kick?
Hoy. I knew you wasn't mad at me, Lieutenant.
No. Could it have been an accident?
Yeah, it could have been. No way proving somebody knocked him out, started his car, and run it off the cliff.
But it's more likely the syndicate caught up with him.
Yes, sir. You want me, Lieutenant?
No, that's all, Sergeant.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's not quite all. I learned something. Someone who saw Suzanne Barclay after her argument with Gus.
And?
Well, I don't know. Paul Drake is checking right now.
Maybe it'll be something. Maybe we'll learn where to find her, and she'll tell us where to find Gus, and we'll take the whole gang. And maybe the moon's made out of green cheese, and maybe I'm a good cop.
You're a good cop, Halverson, or it wouldn't bother you. I'll let you know if Paul gets anything tonight or in the morning.
I'll be here. Or out pounding my feet and asking questions. I'll see you, Mason.
Meanwhile, in the office of the nightclub headquarters of the Syndicate, Gus Jansen, the man Perry Mason seeks, adjusts his tie before the mirror, turns as the door closes.
Hiya, Gus.
Gordy.
JT gone?
An hour ago.
I had to keep my eye on the floor show. You take care of it, Gus?
Care of... Oh, you mean Pete?
Yeah.
Yeah, I took care of him.
Yeah, well, that was okay that one time, Gus.
What?
Somebody had to rub him out, and it's okay if you did. But what's your step? Don't be so anxious to jump in when JT wants something done.
Oh?
We'll get along okay as long as you remember your place.
I won't get in your way, Gordy.
That's it, Gus. Use your head. Where you going?
I'm getting out of your way. I'm going home.
Stick around like close up.
No, thanks. Tony doesn't need Kate Beekman anymore tonight.
What's Kate got to do with it?
Taking her home, Gordy.
You?
Yeah, me.
I'm taking Kate Beekman home tonight and tomorrow night. And every night. Plan to see a lot of Miss Beekman. See you, Gordy.
Gus, wait.
Cat, got a date.
You come back here. Why, that dirty? Who thinks he is? This is Gordy. Put me through to JT. Let me speak to JT. This is an emergency. Hello, JT? Yeah, I know you're busy, but this won't wait. Yeah, I have to tell you now, JT, Gus is off his rocker. I said Gus Jansen's off his rocker. You know how many times you told him to leave Beekman alone? You told him and I told him, but it didn't take. Now, wait a second. I haven't finished telling you. I explained you don't want anybody but me to be friendly with her, but... excuse it, JT. I'm sorry I yelled at you, but you understand why I'm excited. What? You told him to. You want him to? But what about me? I was gonna... Well, give me a break, boss. Gus was working for me. Now if you put him ahead of me... JT? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. He hung up. He hung up on me. And he stabbed me in the back, double-crossed me. Says I'm not big enough for the job. Not big enough, huh? I'll show him how big I am.
August Jansen is clever and ruthless and deadly. He plans to see a lot of Kate Beekman. Believe me, this man will ruin Kate Beekman's life as he's ruined many others, unless... Well, you'll join us tomorrow, won't you? It's 30 minutes past midnight, shortly after the close of our last episode, as Perry Mason enters his apartment.
Yes, hello.
Hello, Perry, Della.
Oh, yes, Della.
Paul Drake left a message. Dr. Doyle's out of town.
Oh?
Well, he'll be back tomorrow. Dr. Doyle lectures at Veterinarian's College every week.
Oh, is that up at Smithville?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
What happened, Perry?
Oh, Halverson learned the identity of a minor shot in the Syndicate.
Gus?
Well, not unless Pete Watton and Gus were one and the same person, which I doubt.
Oh.
Pete Watton is from Pittsburgh. He was on his way here. He ran into some tough luck.
Oh? Accident?
Well, he turned off the main highway, took a side road leading to a cliff beside the river, and then Watton and his car went over the cliff into the river.
Is he dead?
Oh, very.
Doesn't sound like an accident.
No. Well, we weren't too far from the scene ourselves. It happened only a couple of miles from the nightclub where Kate Beekman is working. Anyhow, we have lost Pete Watton.
And we haven't found Gus.
And we will, once we find Suzanne Barclay. Well, I'll see Dr. Doyle.
You were supposed to be in court in the morning.
Well, Jackson can handle that. You show him the brief.
I'm going with you.
Oh?
Because, well, if Suzanne Barclay did give Dr. Doyle some indication where she was going, you'll want me to take notes, won't you?
Well...
Besides, I'm just as curious as you are. Aw, can't I go with you?
All right, Della. I'll see you in the morning.
As you know, Gus is August Jansen. And at this moment, inside the nightclub headquarters of the Syndicate, as Gus waits patiently near the service exit...
Gus?
Hi, Kate. Got your coat?
Yes. I'm sorry I kept you waiting.
Miss Beekman, waiting for you is a pleasure. Here, let me help you with your coat.
Thanks.
I'll get the door.
Ooh, it's chilly. It's a lovely night. Oh, look there, Gus. It's a police car. A man getting out of it.
Yeah, I see it. My car's over here.
Aren't you going to wait and see what they want?
Gordy can handle it. Probably a routine checkup.
Oh, just a minute.
Oh, he's calling us.
You two just come out of the service door?
Yes, officer. Why?
We want to talk to all employees.
Who are you?
Lieutenant Halverson, police. Here's my identification. You two work here?
Well, not exactly.
You use the service exit?
I was going to explain, officer. I own a piece of the club.
I'm employed here.
Well, allow me. My name is Jansen. This is Miss Kate Beekman.
Mm-hmm.
Is something wrong, officer?
We're checking a guy's movements. Ever heard of Pete Watton?
Watton. I can't say I have, Lieutenant. Did you, Miss Beekman?
I went to school with a boy named Watton.
No, he's not the same one.
What's it all about, Lieutenant?
We're checking his whereabouts during the night. He could have been inside your club.
I see. Any reason to think he was?
Well, no reason to think he wasn't.
I've got his pictures. Come back inside and take a look.
Oh, Miss Beekman doesn't work on the floor, Lieutenant, so she wouldn't have seen him. I was in the office.
But I went out on the floor several times.
Yeah, so you did. Very well, Lieutenant. Let's take a look. There's enough light here.
Okay.
Oh.
You recognize him, miss?
Well, I'm not sure. Hard to tell from a picture.
It wouldn't help to see him now, miss. His car went over the cliff and into the river.
Oh, was he...
Mm-hmm. He's dead. Long drop from the top of the cliff to the river. No, it wouldn't help you to see him now. This picture looks familiar to you?
Well, I'm not positive, but I seem to remember seeing him.
Inside?
Well, I think I might have.
It must have been around 11 o'clock.
What makes you say that?
Well, Miss Beekman was working with the entertainment manager until after the floor show.
No, it can't be the same guy, then. He went over the cliff around 10 o'clock. Thanks, it's the same, miss.
Say, Lieutenant, if he went over the cliff, that's only a short distance from here.
You know the place?
Yeah, I believe I do. Well, isn't that outside city limits?
Mm-hmm. Why?
Well, I'm curious to know why the city police are interested.
We're cooperating with the sheriff's office.
Oh. This fellow, Watton, you say? Was he wanted, or is that a secret?
You read about it in the morning papers. Any murdered man is important.
Murdered? Well, I thought it was an accident.
It was supposed to look like an accident. We think Watton was knocked unconscious. Someone pointed his car over the cliff, started the engine, stepped out, and watched him drop to his death.
Have you any evidence of foul play, Lieutenant? Or...
We're working on it.
Is there anything we can do to help?
Thanks.
All right, if I take Miss Beekman home now, it's getting late.
Yes, go ahead.
Get in, Kitty.
Thanks. Oh,
I'll turn on the heater.
I'm not cold.
You're shivered.
When I think about that man...
Now, don't think about him.
I can't help it.
I understand how you feel.
That poor man.
Watton? Okay, don't feel sorry for him.
Why?
You don't know. Maybe he deserved killing.
Nobody deserves what happened to him, no matter what he did.
Somebody thought so. Well, don't get me wrong, Kate. I agree with you. It was a terrible thing to do. But it's happened before, and it'll happen again. There's nothing we can do.
I want them to catch the man who did it. Will they?
I doubt it. No, they'll ask questions like they asked us in an effort to tie him in with another person.
I was almost positive I saw him in the club.
You couldn't have. If he was there, the bartender, the head waiter will remember.
Oh!
Huh?
We have to go back.
Why?
I did see that man. He was talking to Andre. Turn around, Gus.
Oh, wait a minute.
I have to tell the lieutenant.
What's there to tell? You saw the guy, so what?
Well, I saw him talking to Andre. He might have told Andre something.
Well, Andre will tell the lieutenant if he did.
But we have to be sure.
Now, Kate.
Oh, please, Gus, let's go back. He might not ask Andre.
You want to do your part, don't you, Kate?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, anything you say.
Why stop in the service station?
Well, they have a phone. I'll phone back and make certain Andre speaks to the lieutenant.
Oh, but wouldn't it be better to go back?
Why? I'll tell him over the phone. You stay where it's warm.
Yes, sir?
Oh, I want to use your phone. JT, you know who this is? JT, you know the fellow that went for a ride with me tonight? Cops found his body. They're checking back. Yeah, it's routine, but the fellow was seen talking with Andre before I took him for a ride by the river. Oh, that's all. So warn Andre to cover. Right. I'm taking her home now. Right. I spoke to Andre personally. Didn't mean anything, Kate.
Why?
Pete Watton didn't say anything important. He simply asked Andre for road directions.
Oh, I'd hoped...
I know, Kitty. In a way, it's too bad you can't point the finger at the guy who killed Watton. But it's just as well you can't.
What do you mean?
Well, you see where that would put you, don't you, my dear? You'd be in danger.
Oh, from the man who killed Watton?
Of course. Killer's the most dangerous of men, Katie. I know.
What?
In my travels, I've known a few of those dangerous men. I mean true killers, not men who kill on impulse, but men who kill coldly. with enjoyment. Kind of man who killed Pete Watton. Yes, Kate, count yourself fortunate because you're not a threat to this dangerous man.
Oh.
Now I've frightened you. Forgive me and make me a promise.
Yes?
No more talk of murder and assassins and danger. You're a sweet young girl who's tired from her job, and I'm going to drive you safely home. So, now, no more talk of murders. Promise?
All right. But what shall we talk about?
Well, if we run out of subjects, I'll talk about myself.
All right. If you're sure you don't mind talking about yourself.
Mine? My dear girl, I love to. Every man does. And he's a liar if he says he doesn't.
You aren't a liar?
Not me. Well, what would you like to hear about, Kate?
Well, as Gus Jansen drives Kate Beekman through the black winter night, as he speaks entertainingly of the strange corners of the world, you may be certain he does not tell of the time just over 2 hours ago when he coldly, ruthlessly murdered Pete Watton. Neither will he mention what's in store for Kate Beekman. You'll join us tomorrow, won't you? It's 10:30 in the morning as Perry Mason drives to the office of Dr. Howard Doyle, veterinarian. As you know, Dr. Doyle might have information which will help Perry learn the identity of the mysterious and dangerous man called Gus. And as you also know, Gus is none other than August Jansen, Kate Beekman's new friend. In fact, Gus Jansen drove Kate home from her job at the nightclub last night. Now, in the Beekman home...
Who is it?
Me.
Oh, Ma. You been to the store?
Yeah. I hoped you were still asleep.
Oh, don't drip water on the floor, Katie. I'll hand you your towel. Hey, you want me to dry your back?
Oh, my back isn't a bit stiff. I can do it. Oh, I left my robe in my room.
I'll get it.
No, never mind. I'll get it.
You stay there until I bring your robe. You want to catch your death? I'll fix you some breakfast.
Oh, don't bother. I'll fix toast and coffee.
You'll eat bacon and eggs, too. Here's your robe.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. You can start the bacon, honey, huh?
Yes, Mom.
Hello? Why, yes. Yes, just a moment. For you, Katie.
For me? Who is it?
He didn't tell me his name.
Come and get your breakfast on, honey.
All right. Hello? Oh, Gus. Oh, fine. You? Hmm? Why, I'm supposed to be there by 6 o'clock. Oh, I'd love to have you pick me up, but it's such a bother. Oh, that's nice of you to say so, Gus. All right. If you're sure you don't mind. I'll meet you on the corner. Well, it's easier than stopping in the middle of the block. Bye-bye.
There's your orange juice on the table.
Hmm?
Drink your orange juice.
Oh.
Can you eat 2 eggs? Katie?
What, Ma? Oh, yes, please.
All right. Who is he?
Hmm? Oh, the man who phoned?
Yeah.
August Jansen.
Who?
He's part owner of the club. He brought me home last night.
Oh. How'd he happen to bring you home?
Just offered me a ride.
Drink your orange juice, honey.
He bought his car in Europe. It's a foreign car. It's coal black with chromium wire wheels.
What?
Well, you know, Ma. They put wire spokes on sports cars. You've seen them.
Maybe, but I didn't notice. Okay. He's got good manners and a swanky car. And?
Well, he's good looking, and he's tall, and he's been all over the world.
And?
Oh, I've told you the important thing. He's going to give me a ride to work this afternoon.
Oh? What time's he picking you up?
A few minutes after 5.
Oh, I wish your father could be here. But at least I'll meet him. I want to star in your bacon.
Now, wait. August isn't coming in.
Why?
Well, I told him to pick me up on the corner.
Katie.
Well, it's easier for him to pick me up on the corner.
Katie, you knew I'd want to meet him. Why didn't you ask him to come in? Are you ashamed of him, Kate?
No.
Well, are you ashamed of me?
Oh, Ma.
Then is it your father? Are you ashamed of him because he's on parole?
No, certainly not. Oh, Ma, I didn't mean anything by not asking him in. I
Don't
merely...
be ashamed of your father. Not ever. He don't drive an expensive car, and he hasn't been all over the world, but he's a fine man, Katie. A good man.
Ma, I didn't
And
say...
he's making the grade. He's going to be a successful man.
I'm sure he will. Please, Ma.
I'm going to tell you something. I'd rather he told you, but I think the sooner you know it, the better.
What?
Well, remember how you felt when your father got a job with Nicholas Importing Company? In the warehouse? Remember, you were disappointed?
Not really. I just...
You were disappointed because he thought he'd land an executive's job. Now he's earned it.
What?
Mr. Nicholas promised Ed there was no limit to how far he could go in the company. Now he's proving it. He's made your father his personal assistant.
Ma!
Your father's assistant to the president of Nicholas Importing. Your father's a man to be proud of.
Oh, I am proud of him. Oh, Ma, I'm so happy for you.
Thanks, honey. I'm proud of him, too. You going to bring that young man in?
Well, not today. I've already told him to pick me up on the corner.
Soon, Katie?
Why, of course, Ma.
Make it soon, honey. I'm anxious to meet him.
Well, Perry Mason has a grim determination to find Gus. Because even though Mason doesn't know his true identity, he's learned shocking facts about the man. Now, as Perry and Della enter a corridor in Dr. Doyle's small animal hospital.
Smells just like a real hospital.
Mm-hmm.
You going to give him your right name, Perry?
Oh, yes. I spoke with Paul Drake. Dr. Doyle has an excellent reputation. Lectures at veterinarian's college. It's a great word, He's all right. Well, here's his office. Uh-oh. Oh, pardon. Please,
It's all right. You didn't step on my toes. What can I do for you?
Well, I would like a few moments of your time. My name is Perry Mason.
Lawyer?
Yes, I am a lawyer. This is Miss Street, my secretary.
Hello, Doctor.
Miss? I'm very busy, Mr. Mason.
Well, this won't take long, sir, and it's very important.
Well, so are my animals important.
This concerns a beautiful young woman who is in danger.
Her?
No, even younger than Miss Street.
Well, I'll bet she's no prettier.
Thank you, Dr. Doyle.
All right, Mr. Mason, I'm going to inspect the kennels. You can walk with me.
This is a confidential matter, Dr. Doyle.
Nobody out in the kennel but the dogs. They won't talk.
Oh.
Sorry I haven't time to talk in my office, Mr. Mason. These fool animals take all my time.
Something wrong? An epidemic or anything?
No, just a bunch of fool dogs. Every week I go up to Smithville, give lectures up at the college. We go through here. Listen to them. I go there every week, but you'd think I'd gone off and deserted them.
You have a lovely big yard for them.
Yeah, too good for them.
Don't you like dogs, Dr. Doyle?
Can't stand them. How you doing, King? How's that leg? Yeah, listen, you. Trying to make me think you're glad to see me, huh? Well, you don't fool me for a minute. That leg's as good as new.
What was wrong with him?
Car ran over him, broke the femur.
Oh, I didn't know you could heal a dog's broken leg.
Well, you can do it if you're fool enough to fool with a fool dog. Give him the proper care and work with him.
Doctor, won't you take a minute for a girl who needs help?
All right. What's the trouble?
Her name is Suzanne Barclay. You know her?
Yes. I'm boarding her dog, that Dachshund over there.
Yes. Miss Barclay brought you her dog several months ago, the night of October 28th, to be exact. You are the last person known to have spoken with Miss Barclay. She disappeared the night she brought her dog to you.
Ran away, or?
Yes, ran away, went into hiding.
Oh, I didn't hear anything about it.
Well, her mother and her uncle have kept it out of the newspapers. They've been searching for her.
Oh, a fool thing for Suzanne to do.
She had a reason for running away, Dr. Doyle. She was frightened.
You don't have to tell me.
Did you notice?
Stuck out like that bandage on her hand. She never did tell me how she got hurt.
Well, Suzanne was involved with an evil man, Dr. Doyle. She had an argument with him.
He cut her hand?
Yes.
Who is he?
We don't know. We know only his first name, Gus. Did you ever hear Suzanne refer to a man called Gus?
No.
What I'm telling you now is in confidence. Gus is, or was, a member of a huge criminal syndicate. Our best bet for learning his identity is to locate Suzanne Barclay.
Sorry to hear this, Mr. Mason, but why come to me?
Well, you talked to her just before she disappeared.
Oh, you figure I might give you a clue, huh?
Yes. Can you tell us anything?
I'd like to, my dear, believe me, if I could tell you anything. But I can't. Oh. Yeah, I feel the same. But you can't squeeze blood out of a turnip. But if you hear anything, let me know, huh, Mr. Mason? I always liked that girl. Lots of spunk and spirit. Well, drop in again sometime, Mr. Mason.
Seems as though Perry Mason struck another stone wall, doesn't it? His hopes for important information from Dr. Doyle seem to be false hopes. But I can promise you a most important and surprising development in our very next episode. So, by all means, join us tomorrow, won't you? It's mid-morning, immediately after the close of our last episode, when in Dr. Howard Doyle's animal hospital, the doctor told Perry Mason definitely and positively he can give no information as to the disappearance of Suzanne Barclay. Now, as the doctor starts to turn away...
Sorry I can't help you, Mr. Mason, but that's the way it is. You folks can find your way out, huh?
Just a moment, Dr. Doyle.
Well, I gave you a moment.
But we haven't finished.
Now, see here, Mr. Mason, possibly you don't know much about sick animals.
No, I don't, but I would like to point out that you don't know much about tracing missing persons.
Well, never said I did. All right, you pointed it out. What's your point?
It is possible that you do have information without knowing it.
Well, that could be. He hates to give up, don't he?
Yes, he does, sir.
We'll step inside to my office.
All right.
Just across the hall. Go right in.
Do you mind if I close this door, Doctor?
Go ahead. Now, young lady, claims you're a secretary.
Yes, I am.
You got a notebook?
Oh, yes, sir.
Now, then you sit right here and write down what I say. I'm going to tell you everything I know, young fella. For all the good it'll do you. You all ready?
Yes, sir.
Now, tell me if I talk too fast. Well, let's see. Suzanne Barclay brought her dog here to the hospital about 10 o'clock night of October 28th. Now, she told me she wanted to leave her dog here for a long time, indefinitely.
Did she give you any indication where she was going?
Nope. And I asked her. She said she was going to take a trip.
You say you noticed she was frightened.
I'm coming to that.
Did she do anything or say anything?
Nope. I watched her dog.
What?
Her dog had been here plenty of times. It recognized me and it never acted frightened before. The night she brought it here, her dog was scared. Animals are sensitive. That dog knew Suzanne was frightened, even though she hid it from me at first. As soon as I caught on, I asked her if she wanted to talk to me. She said no. I asked her if she was all right. And she said yes. She wasn't, but that's what she said. Now, that's all I can tell you, Mr. Mason. You know everything I know.
Doctor, you are certain she didn't say anything else?
Oh, she may have said thanks when I offered to call a doctor for her. Seriously, Mr. Mason, that's a very pertinent thing. As a matter of fact, we talked about Smithville while I walked to the door with her.
What?
Now, don't go jumping to conclusions, Mr. Mason. I happened to mention I was taking a trip myself the next day, going to Smithville, and we talked about it.
Oh?
Just a second, miss. That doesn't mean a thing, because the fact is, she said she wasn't going to Smithville.
Doctor, I want to know everything that you and she said.
Now?
Now, everything you remembered. And do it quickly before you have time to think about it. Just start in where you mentioned Smithville.
Well, her dog was in the kennel, and she was ready to go. I walked out to the front door. Now, let me see. Oh, yes, I said... All right, Suzanne, we'll take good care of him.
I know you will, Dr. Doyle.
Well, what about you, my dear?
Sir?
Tell an old man what's troubling you.
Why, nothing. I hurt my hand, but there's nothing wrong.
You sure you won't tell me?
No, sir.
Well, you get that hand looked after the first thing.
Oh, I will.
And if there's anything I can do...
There isn't. But I thank you for wanting to help.
Oh, you're going on a trip, eh?
Yes, sir.
Well, you haven't told me where you're going.
No, sir.
All right, I can take a hint. I'm going on a trip myself. Same one I take every week, going up to Smithville.
Oh? What did you say, Dr. Doyle?
I said I'm going to Smithville.
Where's that?
Oh, 100 miles upstate. Little town upstate, college town.
Smithville?
Never heard of it? Well, I got a veterinary college there. I lecture. Got a good mind to go up there and stay there.
Why? Is it nice?
Oh, real quiet. Pretty good-sized town, but quiet. Kind of lost out there in the country.
Kind of lost in the country.
It sounds dull to you, I know. But some people like a quiet place.
Yes.
No, Don't tell me you'd go to a place like that.
Me? Oh, I should say not. I'm going where there's lots of people and excitement. I would think of going to Smithville.
Got your car, or want me to call you a taxi?
Oh, I'll get a taxi on the corner. Well, goodbye, Dr. Doyle.
Goodbye, Suzanne. You sure you don't want to talk to me?
No, sir. But thank you, Doctor. Thanks for everything.
Oh, what's she thanking me for? She didn't let me help her.
But, Doctor, you did help her.
Think she went to Smithville, eh? Now I see your point. And I think you're right.
Oh, Harry.
It's only a chance, Stella, but it's the first lead we've had. May I use your phone?
Well, help yourself.
Meanwhile, in a different part of the city, Gus, whose real name is August Jansen, enters a beautifully furnished suite of offices.
Hello, August.
Morning, J.T. Hey, what a layout, J.T. And your secretary.
These are our financial offices. Here's where I put the big fella's money to work. We need big offices because he's got a lot of money. Well, I can give you only a moment, August.
Busy day?
I have an appointment at my doctor's this afternoon, and I'm expecting a phone call from the big fella.
You going to the doctor? Well, you never look better.
My doctor is a specialist in reducing diet.
Oh.
How are you feeling, August?
Never better, J.T.
And Miss Beekman?
Perfect. I took her home last night, and I'm picking her up this afternoon. I just spoke to her on the phone.
Don't move too fast.
I can handle her.
So, what's on your mind?
Well, Beekman's only a kid, but she's no dummy. So far, I've kept her amused, kept her mind occupied. But pretty soon she's going to wonder where I come from, where I get my dough, how I could help finance a big nightclub. I need a base of operations, a front.
Yeah, that's a good thought. I'll take it up with the big fella. Anything else?
Oh, that's all.
What about Suzanne Barclay?
I've got men looking for her, but take it from me, J.T. Suzanne knocked herself off.
I hope you're right. The big fella's concerned. In fact, he didn't want you to handle Beekman.
You have to talk him into it?
August, the big fellow is boss. I don't talk him into anything. He decided to let you go ahead for now, but we're watching you. Now. Yes? Oh, yes, sir. Just a moment, please. It's the big fella. Get out of here. Now, I was in conference with August, sir. He's just leaving. Now, close the door, August. All right, big fella, he's gone. What's that? Why, since you want to know, I'm letting August handle Kate Beekman. What'd you say? Yes, I remember Suzanne Barclay. And I suggest you remember who you are, big fella. Shut up. I'm talking to you. You signed those property deeds I sent over? Why not? Oh, you've been busy, have you? That's understandable, big fella. Naturally, the big fella has many things to do, many demands on his time. But take time to do what I tell you, big fella. Or shall I come to see you personally? Yeah, that's fine, big fella. Thank you so much. Thank you so very, very much. Yeah. Goodbye, big fella.
As you know, J.T. is the real big fellow. You also know J.T. has a brilliant criminal brain. But even the most brilliant crooks make mistakes. For example, J.T.'s mistake was when he accepted Gus Jansen's reassurance Suzanne Barclay cannot be found. Perry Mason's On the Trail. You'll join us tomorrow, won't you?